You are now listening to Lady in Denim. Kick back and enjoy the ride. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Repeating history because a gangbang of old men who look like the balding buzzard from the Jungle Book and one traitor female have decided to overturn Roe v. Wade, meaning the Supreme Court is handing the decisions of legal abortions to the individual states, which is no better than the federal government making decisions on the woman's body anatomy. Now, darling, we all know those red states are going to be anti-abortion because we know how desperate you are to control women because you hate us. It's okay, honey. It's clear as day your tank is filled to the brim with sugar. I mean, Alex Jones was the first to say you political Nazis love sucking dick in the name of brotherhood. Now, before you fix your lips to talk about Dems and the lack of accountability people have, I suggest you wipe the corner of your mouth first. You bootlicking statists love to talk with a mouth full of dirty government's cum, huh? Hell, you might as well be in a BDSM relationship with the government since you clearly love being told what to do. You don't give a damn about freedom. You only care about what's in your best interests, and that's to dominate. Honey, you're not pro-life. You're pro-rape, pro-pedophilia, pro-incest, and pro-Satan. Now I'm gonna get into that in a moment, because I'm coming for you conspiracy theorists too. You know, the conspiracy theorists that basically parrot off of everybody else's ideas. They don't have a mind to think for themselves. Yes, baby, I'm coming in hot. Okay, I'm coming in hot. Hotter than the goddamn summer's day. Because you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of people speaking up on a topic that they have no idea what they're even talking about. You basically get your information from memes. From the internet, which is not even that much of a reliable source at this point. The hell you trying to talk to people about spirituality? You don't know what the hell you're even talking about. Oh, let me calm down, baby, because I am losing my patience. The little patience that I have. Oh, honey, I'm sassy as hell today. Now, excuse me, you might hear me cuss here and there. But can you blame me? I'm pissed. And I have a right to be pissed. Anyway, moving on. In all, 26 states have laws that indicate they could outlaw or set extreme limits on abortions, effectively banning abortion in those states. 3 states, Kentucky, Louisiana, and South Dakota, had a trigger ban that went into effect automatically with the Supreme Court's reversal Friday of Roe v. Wade. Other states with trigger laws expected to ban abortion in the upcoming days and weeks include Wyoming, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, and Idaho. If you don't know what a trigger ban is, a trigger ban or trigger law is a nickname for a law that is unenforceable but may achieve enforceability if a key change in circumstances occurs. Ain't that a kick in the head? Oh, but let's get into how disturbing the trigger laws in Texas are. Doctors, you know, who should have more say on the body anatomy instead of politics, would face up to life in prison and a $100,000 fine for performing an abortion. The lone exception to the law would be if a woman's life is in danger, supposedly. Women diagnosed with cancer while pregnant, or women suffering from depression or other medical issues would not qualify for this exception. Oh, but honey, it gets worse. Women who undergo in vitro fertilization or IVF are faced with a legal risk. The laws describe pregnant at the moment of fertilization. In IVF, there are often multiple embryos destroyed, so women who are trying to conceive will be punished, as well as women who miscarry. So, sugar, tell me how that's pro-life. I'm waiting. Oh, and let's not forget the heartbeat bill. You know, that already exists in Texas? That bans abortion after 6 weeks with no exceptions for rape or incest. Yet, you aren't pro-rape, pro-incest, or pro-pedophilia, huh? Oh yeah, you're really convincing me that you really care about the livelihood of children, let alone women. I dare you to tell the women suffering from ectopic pregnancies, eclampsia, women carrying a non-viable fetus or embryo, or those with septic pregnancies, well, you should have kept your legs closed. That really seems to be the argument, like the main argument of these damn pro-lifers. But I guess screw all women, right? No matter if they're married or in a loving relationship. Oh, and honey, contraceptives? Yeah, those are up for grabs too. Some states are trying to ban them. Missouri is trying to ban IUDs. For what reason? Honey, I don't even know. It's stupid, okay? It's ridiculous. Fellas, don't think the overturning of Roe v. Wade won't affect you. Florida is passing a law that will allow child support to start at 15 weeks of conception. Now before you fix your lips to say how unfair and unjust it is, remember how most of you rejoiced in women's rights being stripped away. You want to revel in our suffering? Well, I don't feel bad. Tough titty, honey. Should have kept that small pecker in your pants just like you told us to keep our legs closed. I mean, women have been keeping their legs closed. We've been divesting from men who treat us poorly. And honey, I'm all here for it. So fellas, the ones who wish for this to happen, well, wish granted. You got exactly what you asked for. Don't be surprised if other states follow what Florida's doing. Oh, and I better not hear any of you complaining. Just sit down and eat your food like a good boy. But let me just say that I do believe both men and women need to be more self-aware and more responsible when laying down with someone, okay? I don't believe that abortion is a contraceptive. So I can understand that viewpoint, but darling, there are so many downsides to banning abortion. And I know many people are saying, oh, well, the overturning of Roe and Wade does not specifically mean that abortion is banned. I know that. I already stated that in the beginning of this episode. I'm very self-aware, but I also know that the states, the majority that are red states, are going to make it extremely difficult and taxing on women and women's rights. I just want it to be clear, okay? Oh my God. You know, you pro-lifers who claim that life strictly begins at conception are one of the biggest hypocrites walking this earth. You certainly don't have any regards or concern for the throwaway babies or forgotten children that are already here, stuffed in orphanages like a cluster of maggots bursting out of the womb. I can guarantee that most of you don't even know that more than 250,000 children are placed into the foster care system in the U.S. per year. That's a lot of unwanted kids. And the reality is that most of you don't give a damn. You don't care. I can give you this information and you do not care. You won't do anything about it anyway. Oh, and at least 1 in 7 children have experienced child abuse or neglect in the past year in the U.S. This is likely an underestimate because many cases go unreported. So statistics really aren't reliable to prove your unviable points, honey. But I digress. Of the over 400,000 children in foster care in the U.S., 114,556 cannot be returned to their families and are waiting to be adopted. That's all I need to know to understand that most of you don't give a shit about children. Now, my dumplings, do you know how many children go missing every year in the U.S.? Conspiracy theorists, you fake-ass conspiracy theorists, listen, okay? 840,000 children are reported missing each year. And this is told by the FBI. Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing or is abducted in the U.S. I wonder how many of those children are from foster care systems. People are so worried about stripping away women's rights and, of course, worried about unborn fetuses, which, by the way, I can agree that it is demonic if you are aborting a fetus in the second and third trimester. At that point, I don't think abortion is allowed unless medically necessary. But I digress. People are so worried about that, but they're not worried about the thousands and thousands of missing children. And people like me are wondering, well, where are those children? Why can't they be found? That's alarming. You have a bunch of conspiracy theorists talking about the demon Moloch, acting like they know something, when really they're just parroting off of memes that they see on Instagram scrolling. Honey, please, if you're not really knee-deep in research, I need you to shut the hell up, okay? Because you're out here spreading false information. So Moloch is a demon portrayed as a bull-headed idol with outstretched hands over a fire. He was worshipped by the Canaanites. In order to appease this deity, the people would have to sacrifice their children. Okay? So a lot of conspiracy theorists, well, the fake ones anyway, they claim that abortion is modern-day sacrifice to this deity. The main thing that I keep seeing people bring up, by the way, is that Planned Parenthood is evil. While yes, I can agree that Planned Parenthood obviously has a terrible, or rather horrific history, especially towards those who are African American, okay? I will say this. Planned Parenthood and its founders, yes, they definitely are Satanists. I've read books about this, and I suggest that you do too, so you can understand what I am talking about. But just because these weirdos serve these deities does not mean that the women who are getting these abortions are serving this deity called Moloch. They aren't, because there is no intent. In order for a sacrifice to be committed, you would have to know or intentionally offer your child or seed to said demon. In this case, many women are not offering the unborn to this insidious beast. This is how I know those of you who claim to be spiritual or claim to be knowledgeable are full of arrogance. Your ego speaks for you. Your energy is tainted by your own imprecations, and that is a long discussion you need to have with God himself. So, coming back to the children who go missing every year in the U.S., well, aside from sex trafficking, which is at an all-time high, okay, well, it always has been, some of those kids are also being used for said sacrifices. These people do not hide their intentions from you. They have it on full display, and they're mocking you. But of course, that's another discussion for another day. Now, you right-wingers, always talking about the left and how they are just very radical. Well, darling, so are you guys. Honey, you both are very radical. Okay, you're two peas in a pod. By the way, honey, it was very demonic of you all to celebrate the overturning of Roe v. Wade, knowing damn well that even if the decision was given to the states, okay, you know, especially in the red states, that they are going to ban abortion or make it extremely difficult for women to get one. Pero Tato, mi amor, sigue pensando que estás en el camino correcto. Remember that women are the givers of life. Yet we are viewed as lesser than a man, to the point our rights will be stripped away from us. I am disgusted with how much society has regressed. And as a libertarian woman, I am also disappointed in my fellow libertarians who are actually undercover statists and right-wingers approving or bowing down to this political move. It's all about control. But sadly, you played yourself, honey, like a damn sucker, because abortion isn't going away. You just made it unsafe. And a lot of blood will be spilled in back alleyways and shady motel rooms. People will never truly understand something until it happens to them. I want you to remember those words. Be safe, and thank you for listening. You can follow me on Instagram at the Lady of Denim Podcast _. You can also follow my main Insta and Twitter at Adenum. Be sure to like and follow the Lady of Denim Podcast on Facebook. Until next time, darling.